Okay, so it says we are live in action. So for those tuning in, welcome. My name is Erica Phillips. We got Clyde B.
You know, can't be putting the whole government out there. Just give the first name.
because I was about to drop it, and then I was like, oh, he just has Clyde B up there, so you know.
I know you wanted
All right,
to.
So welcome everyone. I did. I had to pause real quick, like, oh, let me respect the title.
Good recovery.
So welcome everyone who is tuning in either live right now or who's tuning in later on to catch the recap on this. I'm going to start by doing a quick screen share so I can properly introduce us. This is our first episode
Hey, Erica, your stream froze up.
give that a brief introduction.
Hey, I'm gonna turn my Wi-Fi off real quick.
And huh? Oh, why is it end of slideshow? Okay.
All right.
You guys can see the screen?
Yeah, you got the screen share up.
Okay, cool. So welcome again to the Uncaged Bird podcast, where basically the sibling group of 4, we are having conversations centered around breaking cycles of generational trauma in parenting. Today, we're going to set it off with the topic of mindset, which I feel like this conversation will really just set the tone of what this platform, is about. What is not about is that necessarily that, we experience trauma growing up in our households, but everyone experiences different things in life, period. And today's platform and talking about mindset is huh?
No, I was agreeing. I was just saying, yeah, just life. And I mean, like, you necessarily experience some level of trauma, but, right. I guess everybody does to a degree, just going through life in general.
Yeah, you kind of can't make it through life unscathed from trauma, really.
Right. I think too.
Yeah. So, like I said, the host today.
Go ahead, my bad. I'm stopping interrupting, man. Go ahead, get your intro.
Oh no, you can go ahead. I can't see you, so like when I have the screen share up, I can't even see you. I'm gonna take it down though in a minute. I just wanted people to be able to see real quick where they can connect with us. If I'm probably the primary connect for real, but I have Clyde's IG up here as well. Clyde don't post that much, but we love him all the same. Hey. But you definitely can get all of the.
You know what else too? On your screen share, yeah, like my Instagram's up there anyway. You're saying Clyde Bryant, like it's the full rip, like whatever.
Oh, I sure did just out you, huh?
Hey, I'd be acting like I'm a fucking secret agent or something.
Right, you really do. So that's where y'all can find us. We'll put that back up later on. I'm gonna stop sharing so I can actually be able to see what's happening on here. Okay, so we're super excited to be jumping this off with mindset. I'm just going to lay out some information here, and then Clyde and I are going to jump into it. These podcast episodes are really going to be laid back, raw conversations about whatever our topic is. So as I was thinking about the concept, it means, looks, and feels like, I made a direct correlation to being intentional in the things that we do, our thoughts, our actions, our time, and who we spend our time with when we're actually sharing our time. I believe that these things help to foster a state of being happy, regardless of what is occurring in your life at the moment. As I was thinking more into this concept, I asked the question, but how do we arrive at a place of intentionality in the first place? Like, as people, we can have intentions all day set about it, then we aren't getting very far at all. So while I embark on this conversation of mindset, well, as we both do, we're going to be highlighting some of the mental health benefits and maintaining a positive mindset. This is going to be over the next 21 days, by the way, guys. But we want to clear up something first, right from the start, right? To have a positive mindset doesn't mean that you're happy 24/7 at all. Our emotions are real, and our emotions serve us, and so the mindset for yourself will basically be the deciding factor in how you perceive, internalize, and experience both emotionally and behaviorally the not so great emotions and the not so great moments in life that require you to actually pull deep. um so what we're hoping is that by the end of this journey, you should have a better understanding and handle on how a positive mindset can improve your mental health, ways to cultivate a positive mindset, and just how you get stuck in the mud of life. Um, so I'm going to open with a quote, and then Clyde and I just going to, expand and take this organic conversation a bit further with you all. So this quote is actually from Michelle Obama's Becoming journal. She has the book Becoming, and then she also has a journal, which is a guided journal for discovering your voice. And this particular quote or excerpt that she has on here, I felt like it really, what we were talking about in regards to just the whole platform of what we're standing on here. So failure is a feeling long before it becomes an actual result. It's vulnerability that breeds with self-doubt and then is escalated, often deliberately, by fear. And she asked a prompt question like, what can you do as an individual, parent, or community member to help break a cycle of fear and failure? And Clyde, I felt that, cycle, that fear and failure, that kind of prompt question, it can definitely connect back to mindset.
Yeah, it's lightweight, corny, I guess, but like even like just reading the word mindset or saying the word mindset, it forces me to immediately like check. You think about, oh yeah, what is my mindset? So what does that really mean? You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just your perspective on life. You know what I'm saying? And that changes everything. It could be the difference of, if it's raining outside, oh man, it's raining, versus, like, yeah, it's raining, grass getting some water, you know what I'm saying? Plants and flowers getting some water, you know what I mean? Like it's right. Or I don't want to fail
it's
versus
necessary.
I want to, yeah, you know what I mean? Leaving words like, or phrases like, I don't want to fail, use instead, I want to succeed, or I want to pass. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just negative, and because your words have power. It's a real thing. And once you put them out there, you can't bring them back either.
Right. And I think we manifest too. So like that energy that we put out there, that vibe, if you wake up and be like, today's going to be a bad day. Well, damn, it's going to be a bad day. You didn't already set the tone. Like, I mean, sounds like there's no hope. But if you wake up like, so I think it's pinpointing, maybe you woke up and you're not feeling your best, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a bad day. So kind of identify what's actually manifesting something negative from the jump.
And you know what else? It's big to understand that, like, quick story, right? I was this was a few weeks back. It was still warm outside. I was at work and I was having to do some. I was having to cut up a bunch of these old crates, shipping crates outside, and it's hot, right? So I'm out there, I'm sweating, right? And I just got done cutting up one big ass piece, right? And a nice breeze came through, right? And I mean, it was just a breeze, right? But at that point in time, that breeze was like, I mean, it was the best feeling in the world. You know what I mean? And I was like, I was in my thoughts for a second there. This all took place over like 5 seconds, right? But in my mind, it was way longer, right? So in my mind, I was thinking, I was like, yo, that was just a breeze, but damn, that felt good. And I realized that it wouldn't have felt that good had I not been out there working hard and sweating. See what I'm saying? So you got to take like, joy and pain, sunshine and rain. Like you can't appreciate one without the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of it basically works in tandem with each other.
They're both necessary. The light and the darkness,
Yeah. So speaking of the light and the darkness, I mean, how does that work? Like, people can just turn it on, turn it off. Like, how do people, like, where do you pull from inspiration to help you support like a positive mindset, right?
Right. I think recognizing that, as we spoke of earlier, there's no such thing as a perfect life. You know what I'm saying? And once you realize that and accept that, it's easier to just, if you're having a bad day, quote unquote, right? It's easier to just accept that with, these things come and find the lesson in that quote unquote bad day, to use that going forward. That's how you, find the silver lining, shout out. Saying that's how you grow. There's always a lesson, and when you think things are, the world is falling apart around you, there's always a lesson in there to build from, and recover stronger.
Yeah, I like that. So there's been so many times where, lack of better words, shit has hit the fan in life, right? And you feel like you're in this moment of, there's nothing else I can do. Like what's happened has happened. And so when you find yourself in that space, one of the things that I know I ask myself is, all right, like one, I surrender. There's nothing that I can do to change what's happening right now. This is something that I realize is out of my control. What can I learn from this, or what am I trying to be taught? Like, let me pause for a second and just listen.
It's real.
So like what's actually happening, or what's trying to be revealed to me, because like you said, the good and the bad kind of tandem with each other, and your mindset is all about how you something, and based upon how you perceive something is going to be like the direction on, am I going to go left or right? Like, how am I going to react to how I'm perceiving what's happening to me?
Yeah, word to that old quote. Life is not about what happens to you; it's about how you respond to what happens to you, and your mindset is chief in that situation. You either stay in the mud and wallow in it and roll around it and be there till you die, or recognize you're in the mud and get the hell out of it. You know what I'm saying? And of course, it's always easier said than done, but your mindset determines what you're gonna do, man. Like you can stay dirty forever, all in that mud. I don't know who would want to do that, but I mean, there's people out there that's living like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the mindset's all fucked up. Henry Ford's got a quote too. Says, "Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right." Whether you think you can or can't do something, you're right. That's just, that's all.
Right.
That's all,
yeah. Yeah. Something that sounds so simple, but that's actually so deep, because either you are or you aren't, and you're the one that's going to decide. Like, so I ask people sometimes, like clients, when I'm doing work. So like, if you're experiencing an emotion, like say you're angry, say you're pissed off, right? Somebody pissed you off, they did something or whatever. Example, in the car, someone cut you off, pisses you off in that moment, right? How long do you hold on to that?
Yeah.
Right? Do you keep driving miles pissed off? Right? And then at some point, you're just not pissed off anymore. Why? Because you chose to be, right? Or you can have a moment where someone, cut you off. You're like, damn it. And you're like, man, whatever. Right? I hope y'all get where you're going safe. Maybe you're in a rush or something, and you're immediately good. The only difference is you chose, I'm going to be pissed off for the next 3 miles, or I'm gonna be pissed off for this hot second and then move on with it because it happened. Like they cut you off already.
Over some motherfucker that you'll probably never see again. You said you probably never see that person ever again in your life. You know, for what? And while you're holding on to that anger or whatever it is, a whole slew of things could happen. Like while you're looking back at whoever just cut you off or whatever, you might have just missed somebody changing lanes in front of you. You're saying now you're wrecked, or God forbid you get injured or whatever. But it's just so many things that could cascade, a domino effect just off some little shit that you could have just, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's not the first or last time you're gonna be cut off in traffic. You know what I mean?
Right. Or classic, because it's happened. I'm human. Like that'll happen, right? And I'm mad about that person cut me off. Then someone drops a mom, and I'm like, what? Dang, all they did was say mom. Like nothing. Yeah. it wasn't them. It was because I was so focused on there. Right. So like that, just being mindful, again, that mindset about how we are perceiving things and letting that energy infiltrate into us. And then it starts to trickle down into our other behaviors and actions. And it's so unnecessary.
And then you feel like an asshole because you didn't snap at your kids for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Over, John Smith driving that blue Nissan or whatever. That's real.
My so funny moment. I got to plug in my laptop because it said it's gonna die on me.
Well, that'd be Kim all day. That phone stay on red. On bullshit, I have to look up at my battery.
So earlier when we were kind of talking to prep this conversation, you had mentioned this like analogy that I thought we were just talking about the concept of mindset, and you were talking about that car on assembly line. I wanted you to share that because I thought that was good.
Oh yeah. I think that was more so geared toward like potential, and well it still ties into mindset though. Like you could be the fastest car like ever made, right? Ever assembled, on the assembly line, you're in the factory, right? You're saying you got everything, okay? You're the fastest car ever made. But it means nothing, if that car is never put on the road, right? If rubber never meets the road, it doesn't mean anything. People walking outside right now are moving faster than that fastest car. You know what I'm saying? And so you could have all this, and we all do. We have all this unlimited, untapped potential. It's just a matter of applying that to life and your mindset. Your mindset could be the difference of staying in bed all day because it's raining, or because you feel like shit or whatever, or you take the good with the bad. Understand that it's only a phase. It's temporary. This too shall pass. Right. Keep in mind that it's only temporary. Get up, go. Keep pushing forward because you only lose when you stop. You 2% versus 0%. If you quit, it's 0% every time. You'll never make it there. But you keep going, no matter how slow. Progress it's inevitable. You must win.
Yeah. And despite the obstacles, because I think like right before that we were talking about was it Helen?
Oh yeah, Helen Keller.
About just not having the sight, the vision, all that stuff, and then still accomplishing things. And it's like, okay,
what's
you
your
have
excuse?
all of this removed from you. Yeah, but you still do it. And so the difference is that pulling.
Yeah. Now I think she had like obviously she had an amazing teacher, but I still don't know. I have to read some more about how they did that. But to not be able to see, speak, or hear, and you still got a bachelor's degree, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like that. When I read that, I was like, man, I felt like I could take over the world or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, I have all my faculties in order. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, why am I not where I want to be? And
right.
Yeah, I guess it's just a matter of mindset. And even when realizing that, if you are or aren't where you want to be in life or whatever, I'm saying, understand that as long as you wake up every morning, you have air in your lungs and your heart is beating, like you have the chance, you have the ability to change whatever your circumstances are. You don't have to be a victim of those circumstances.
and that things don't have to be so timely. Will be like, I would have did this when I was younger, or I wanted to do, but I ran out of time. But like you just said, if you still got breath in your body, you haven't run out of time. We don't know
Straight
whatever
up.
time is going to be pulled. So just maximize the time that you have. And it's fine. Like, it's fine to, start all over again, to jump into those things that you haven't. Like, it's just all about, like, what do I want to do with this?
Yo, I'm about to going piggybacking. I think it was in Proverbs. I think it was. I'm about to butcher this quote, right? But it said that whatever you get your hands on, do it with all your might, because in the grave where you are going, there is neither knowledge, nor planning, nor success, nor failure, or something like that. But basically saying, like, like I said, like as long as, or like we said, as long as you have air in your lungs, it's not too late. And whatever opportunities that you have in this life, maximize those opportunities. Whatever you get your hands on, do it with everything you have. Because when you die, which we're all dying, we're all headed towards our grave. There's none of that. So while you have it, while you have that chance, maximize that shit. Live your life.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, and when I say people, like when I be saying stuff like that, I mean, me too, like there's different moments and times and spaces where, I mean, me too. I think expectations gets in the way of that, because there's an expectation of, I will be fulfilled when I reach, this particular point. And so all we're looking at is reaching that point. But what about all the in between? For one, every new day that you have grown, and you're a better person and version of yourself than you were the day before. Because one, showing up for yourself, and then in between that, we're moving. Even if there's one of those down slopes, because I feel like life kind of goes like this. Each time you go like this, it still goes higher and it dips down. You never dip down as low as the first time you were low, because there's something that you pulled from when you came out of that low spot. So then you went up and then you dip down again. Don't have it in your mind that, oh, I'm way back where I started from. No, you're not. You can never go back where you started from, because you got out the first time, and something that you had got you out of it.
It's valuable too to like look back at the journey. You know what I'm saying? Look back at, in times where you get down or, discouraged and whatnot. If you realize and recognize, all the things that you've accomplished up to this moment in time, that's huge too. Again, and and that's all your mindset, man. Like sometimes you gotta draw from old shit you did, to build on, what you have now. Like it's I mean, hell, if I did all that, shit, I could do this too.
I missed the last thing you just said.
No, saying speaking of, as far as like reflecting on past, like if I could do all of that, then well, shit, I could do this too. Type deal.
Right. Yeah. Giving yourself credit for what you've done.
Word up. And I think it's important too, like to appreciate the journey. Like it'd be nice. Like if you go on vacation, I think Steve Harvey said something like this. Like if you go on vacation, you have a vacation planned, you're gonna go to the Bahamas, whatever. Like you don't just snap your fingers and then you're in the Bahamas, right? Like you gotta plan transportation, you gotta plan your hotel, where you're gonna stay. You might have an itinerary of activities and stuff that you want to do. When you leave the morning, or when you wake up the morning of going to catch your flight to go to the Bahamas, how do you feel? You know what I'm saying? You're excited. You're pumped. Even though you got to go you might have to go sit through traffic or something to get to the airport. You're not tripping. We're going to the Bahamas, enjoying the process. The destination is the Bahamas, but there is a process to arrive in the Bahamas. And, that's the same with life too. You set a goal, you set a destination to where you want to be, lay out a plan, and then enjoy the process reaching your destination. You know what I'm saying? There's those ups and downs, but as long as you're of, positive mindset and, you're enjoying the process, where you're going. I mean, what's the problem?
Right.
Take the good with the bad, keep that excitement, keep that energy, just keep going, man. Keep pushing.
I think what helps with enjoying the process, like you said, in between to getting to the destination, is that it helps you to appreciate even more when you've arrived. Because sometimes,
Yeah.
you know, people get in the process, in the habit of going through the process. They do make it to their destination and what they wanted, but they still feel unfulfilled. They still don't have that sense of fulfillment. It's almost like okay, now what? Well, that's because there was not, you know, getting everything that happened in between. That is almost kind of like the culmination of all of that is what feeds into getting to the destination in the first place. It's
Yeah.
like you said with Obama's, like, we're finally here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all that build up versus, oh, now what?
Yeah. Yeah. Or like too, I thought of it made me think of going back to when we were talking about taking the good with the bad and appreciating both. You know, like imagine if you were like, say you're, I mean, hell, you know how we came up, right? We didn't have silver spoon by any means, all right? You know, but imagine if like you were, or skip that, we'll stick with the Bahamas, right? People that live in the Bahamas, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not like, oh my God, we're in the Bahamas. You know what I'm saying? Like they live in the Bahamas. They're born there, like lived, raised, you know what I'm saying? Like this is life every day. You know, it's the
Right.
Bahamas. You know, they don't have anything to most people, you know, it's not a big ass blanket. Of course it doesn't apply to everybody. But, you know, most of them they don't have anything to compare that to. You know, they don't know what fucking 32 degrees feels like, you know, negative 15 degrees, all that shit, snow
Yeah.
and stuff. Like they don't, you know, it's the Bahamas, baby. No, but whereas from like our perspective, you know, it's you can appreciate it way more because like shit, you know what it feels like to be hella cold. You know what I mean? And
Right.
like now you're in warm sunshine, good breeze, you know, good food, I imagine, chill music. Shit, might need to try to get a trip to Bahamas, man. Bullshit.
Plan a trip,
Got me
right?
thinking about it. You know what I'm saying?
And of all the many Caribbean islands I've been to, I haven't been to that one either. It's crazy.
Straight
And
up.
it's right there. Yeah, I didn't went all the way down past, but it's right there. I haven't been yet.
Y'all always kept it in Jamaica. I don't know why I
Yeah.
thought you.
Nah, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, the Martins, Martiniques, the St. Kitts, the St. Lucia, all of that, but haven't been to there. So, but I think that what you
I was getting off on a tangent. Go ahead.
no, something you had said, it made me think about, like, okay, when you do go through those things that are hard in life and you're looking back on them that you got through them, definitely don't want to repeat any of them, but definitely know that the version of myself and the version of who we are today is a direct result of those. So like when you're talking about taking the good with the bad, those good and the bad parts of our past that create the versions of ourselves that we are today. And if we're talking about mindset again and how you are processing, you know, through that and choosing to look at, okay, what can I learn? How can I grow? What's the lesson? Like, what the heck are you trying to show me? Then that is what, you know, helps foster and feed into that.
And I want to reiterate too, because yeah, it's always easier said than done, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't want people to, you know, well, yeah, whatever, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You say that, like, no. Sometimes it sucks. That's real. That's life though. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what we're saying though. Like, yes, it's shitty, but you gotta pick that up and move. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, and then it's always your own decision. It's your prerogative. You know what I'm saying? Stay where the hell you are if you want. You know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, it's telling people around you that, you know, okay, this happened. Take your licks and keep fucking going. You know what I mean? You have to, you must. Otherwise, you will stay stagnant. You will stay there forever. You know what I'm saying? And that's they said, live your life or your life will live you. You know, flat out. Like you're a sentient being, you know, so you have a mind for a reason. You know what I mean? You have the ability to plan or to make plans rather, and set goals and achieve them for a reason. But you got to use it. You can be the fastest car. But if that bitch ain't driving, so
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yours is not relevant.
Straight up.
Yeah. Okay, so I think this is a good stopping place to wrap it up. We kind of just wanted to dive in there, go ahead and get this first episode out. I mean, this is a good example of how long has the conversation been going about, hey, we're going to do this podcast. We're going to do this podcast, or we're going to, collectively, there's these things. And it's that, all right, if this is the mindset that's set, if this is the intention, then you have to have that follow-up, action through it. Instead of dropping the, I want to, I'm going to, you just start to.
Yeah. The time is always and only now.
Yeah. And it was now for a reason.
Straight up. Yeah.
Reason why it wasn't prior to now.
Oh shit! I forgot to mention earlier. You were talking about how a lot of times people formulate these timelines in their mind, and I think some people have the tendency to want to compare where they are versus where some of their peers are, siblings, family members, whatever.
A whole conversation with myself the other day about how I feel like I'm trying to play catch up, because when you talk about peers, sometimes I'll dang, peers doing this and doing that, and I'm about to be 40 and I haven't set up all of this stuff yet, and then I'm looking well, what was I in my 20s? Shit, I was playing and having fun and living, and maybe I should have been more business minded,
grinding instead. Could have been chilling.
Right. Yeah. But no, it didn't line up that way because it wasn't supposed to line up that way. It wasn't time yet. So yeah. So the time is now. So, whoever's watching, you talking about, the intentions that you want to have, the changes that you want to feel or experience in your life. I mean, if you want those things, it's just about your mindset.
Straight up. And that's just the first step. You know what I'm saying? That's the first step. You gotta have the do.
Yeah. Yep. So we're excited that people got to join us today. I see our bro Kevin dropped in the comments. I can't wait for y'all to meet him and Christina too. Yeah. So shout out to Kevin. Love you, boo. So be hosting more. I'm excited that we got this first episode off the belt. And there's Christina too. I can add them in. Let's see.
I can't even see their comments.
You can't? I can. Mm-mm. Christina, we still have a conversation about mindset too. This is just the first tipping point. I didn't forget. Let me see. I'm gonna try to see if I can. Hey, Kevin and Christina, I'm gonna email you join in real quick. And nothing special, just to get a introduction. I'm sending it. You can entertain the people, Clyde. Well, Clyde, drop the information for that YouTube video you were talking about. Well, I send them this real quick to see if they can jump on so they can see the whole crew. You know what I'm talking about? Clyde? Did I lose him? Hey, Clyde, you still on? I can't see you because I'm pulling up the link. At Gmail. Did it freeze it? Hey.
I'm backstage. Yeah. I'm gonna sound backstage. Oh, I don't know why. Yeah, I accidentally hit the back button.
Okay. Well, I just sent the link to Kevin and Christina to see if they can join in. We can go ahead and just introduce them. We're wrapping up for this one, but then everybody can collectively see all four of them. And like we said, this podcast platform is collectively the four of us having these candid conversations, hoping to inspire and help whoever is viewing. Just putting out that encouragement, man. And I really think that it's perfect timing that this mindset conversation happened, because it really is the catalyst for just what we stand for as a group collectively. I really love is that we're all from the same family. Obviously, we're siblings, but we have so much in common and so much not in common. Like, we have perspectives about, different perspectives about the same thing. And even when it is, because we can have some heated conversations and debates sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's all good because we respect the uniqueness and the individuality. And that's why we also like to let people know, like, you got it in you. Like Clyde said, the conversation is easier said than done, but we all have our unique things within us. I think I had told you earlier, I had heard something that said we all, and I can't remember the person who said it, so it's not mine, that you deserve to be in the room and at the table hasn't been heard. Like, your perspective is different from anyone else's that's in the room.
Yeah, I liked that too. That was dope.
Kevin!
Hey.
Hey, Kevin.
What's up, bro?
On my way to, I'm a little bit.
Shit, go ahead, bro.
Back. Yeah.
I just think what y'all had going on, man.
Hey, wow, I couldn't see. I guess I forgot. Word up, I forgot we live. To be honest, we just got the rapping.
That's why I saw y'all. That's why I saw the today. Like, okay, they got it popping. Yeah.
Finally, you finally figured it out.
Hey, for real, man. I ain't gonna put you on blast. We was having some little technical difficulties at the beginning with the microphone and stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely. Gotta hear that.
But look, can't wait to all four of us to connect, and then for us to do the Dolo things. But hey, man, I want you driving.
What's it? Yeah, we'll get with you, bro. All right.
Love you.
Yeah, that's the bro. Y'all can't tell Erica the oldest.
I sent Christina a link. You know her? Oh yeah. Wait, what'd you say? You say you could tell?
Nah, just say on the introduction tip, like you said. But yeah, that's the bro. I'm saying it's Kevin. In case y'all can't tell Erica the oldest.
I don't know if that's shade or if that's like a proud. Is this a mindset moment? How I interpret your comment?
That's what I'm about to say. I'll see what you take it. I'll see where you take it. Straight up. Perfect example.
But that you brought that up, I like that too. That because it's 6 years between you and me. 7 between me and Kevin and Christina and I, but I feel like collectively there's still a level of maturity. We're all on the same page in terms of that, man. Like,
straight up.
And shout out to our parents too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think every time, I think when anyone becomes a parent, and this will be stuff we'll talk about more, so I won't go into a swan dive. We do the best thing that we can, with it and for our kids with the tools and resources we have available, period.
Sure.
And, from there, you just go with it. And so I think that just like, I think about this a lot, the relationship conversations that we have, that was fostered from some energy somewhere, and it had to be from our parents in different kind of ways. So,
You know what? That's a perfect wrap up for real. Because I think through all of our life experiences together and separate, our mindset has molded us into who we are today. Hence why with that maturity level between us all, despite the age differences, we're all in here with it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I know you want to get to football Sunday, and I'm so glad that you let me get some of that time today so we can
Girl, I swear
get
God,
this
he
going.
was my assistant. I might have to answer the phone or something. I swear. We saw this.
All right, man. I love you.
I look forward to the next one.
Yeah, I did too. I'm just going to show the people real quick again where they can contact anything, and where we'll be posting one day I'm going to get quicker with this text. Real quick. So anybody want to follow future ones, go on this and get better. I'll get better with the technical too. So train Clyde, and then we can So the Uncaged Bird podcast, having discussions about breaking cycles of generational trauma and parenting by unlocking the magic of your life, remembering who you are at the core. You need to stay centered with yourself so you can get through life. Today's host, we got 4 in total. Sometimes you'll see all 4 of us together. Sometimes you'll see one solo, or some of us coupled together. So today was myself, Erica Phillips, and Clyde B. At the Instagram at the _uncaged bird for me, and now everybody calls me Clyde for Clyde.
All right, Joe. Till next time.
All right. Love you.
All right, love you. Peace.
Send me pictures of your grilled chicken. Bye.
Yeah.